Hello. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope you all had a fantastic, phenomenal week. I had a couple of heavy reactions this week, but that's good, right? Because it opens up the conversation even more. For those of you that are first timers, I just want to reiterate that I am not a mental health professional. I give my insights based on my own experience and the experiences of some of my life coaching clients, life experiences in general, right? Again, I am not a mental health professional. I am a certified life coach, but any advice I give is not to be taken in replacement of a professional. Also, any pledges made during this live stream will go toward my mental health outreach projects. So if you use that super chat or super sticker option, that is where it's all going. That is how you can make priority song requests. That is how you can get my attention if the comments get flooded a little bit, because sometimes they do. Sometimes they get a little flooded, and I cannot catch up with them all. But if you want to make sure that I see something, just make sure to use that super sticker option. So how is everyone this morning? I'm coming to really love Fridays. I used to feel like, okay, I know I'm the weirdo. I always usually like Mondays and then despise Fridays. It's like, oh, my week is winding down, and did I get everything done that I want to do? So I know I'm the weirdo. But we already knew that, right? Hello, David. Hello, Joel. Joel, you and I have a conversation to have right now, because I reacted to Tragic Truth, as you know, and okay, that was a little heavy, but the other one you had me react to opened a whole damn can of worms on this channel that I'm not sure y'all are ready for, and I hope I don't scare you all away. So that will be live later today, but you and I need to have a talk. I think I need to be charging you for the therapy I'm going to need now. Just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Hello, Lauren, Cody. Hello. David says, great request, Joel. You aren't the one that had to watch this stuff, David. You thought yours were bad? David, you thought your suggestions were bad? Wait till you see this reaction. Hope you have never had to wear a neck brace before. I sure have not. I have never broken anything. I have never even really sprained anything. So yeah. Yes, Joel, I did the Matt Keenan one, and it was a lot. It was much more than I expected. I got into it thinking, oh, it's country, cool, I get to reconnect to my roots, and I was all really excited and happy, and that turned a little dark really fast. Good day from cold Russia. Can you send me some snow or something? Because it's starting to warm up here in Arizona, and I sometimes miss the cold. So I want to share some good news. I always share good news. So this, I thought, was just the most heartwarming, charming story ever. 84-year-old Mexican grandfather achieves his dream of becoming an engineer. An 84-year-old former farmer, soldier, and shopkeeper from Puebla, Mexico, is about to graduate from an engineering and industrial management program at the meritorious Anonymous University of Puebla. That's a mouthful. Despite the university being one of the most prestigious and competitive in Puebla, Felipe Espinoza Tecuapetla, I'm not great at pronouncing names in case you can't tell, easily managed to pass the entrance exams when he was enrolled at age 79. His journey has been challenging, however, he never gave up on his lifelong dream of getting his engineering degree. Apart from continuing working at the local market selling vegetables, he wakes up every day at 4:30 a.m. to catch 2 buses to make it in time for class. Felipe does state that his main challenge was to afford a laptop and learn how to use it, since he had never had one before. Yet, he was determined to achieve his dream. Eventually, he managed to buy one and taught himself how to use it. In addition to achieving his dream, Felipe wanted to prove to the world that age has nothing to do with anything, with learning, and that it's all about mastering one's mind. To further prove his point and go beyond his dreams, he is now planning on continuing his education and getting a master's degree. Okay, there's so much to pick apart in that story, y'all. I know that it is so common for people that have been struggling for a long time with their mental health, especially if they're older, to go, oh, well, I'm already 40, 50, 60 years old. There's no point. Well, there is a point, because you will get to know what it's like to live on the other side. And that is enough of a point. And I like how, he was faced with that's a pretty mounting challenge for someone of that age to teach themselves how to use a computer. That sounds so simple to us because, we're so connected, but for someone who's never used a laptop, heck, I struggle with electronic stuff. So that was just so amazing. So people that are saying, "Oh, I wish that I could do this," or "It's too late for me," or "I'm too old." There are so many people that don't achieve their dreams until later in life, or who don't find healing until later in life. It's never, ever, ever too late. So let Felipe be that message today that you can take a step toward the direction of your healing or dreams, no matter how old you are. It's supposed to get to 21 degrees here next week. Okay, that's a little much, but your sniffling makes me want to blow my nose. I'm sorry. I got hit with allergies this morning, so I'm boosting vitamin C and stuff, but I kind of got hit with allergies this morning. And then Joel decided to make me react to this really, really emotional song that just hit all sorts of triggers for me. So now I'm somewhere between allergies and a hot mess. So thanks for that, guys. No, I understand, Joel. It wasn't your fault. The song itself is actually really uplifting and very motivating. It just hit some triggers that I was not prepared for. But as I say in the song, when we are trying to manifest healing or to bring about healing, when we set that intention, guess what the universe is going to do? It's going to give us opportunities to deal with that. So that was my opportunity today to deal with that. So what have been some of your ups and downs of the week, my friends? I've had quite a few. I actually have been sleeping better. So I had 3 nights in a row of really great sleep. That was phenomenal. I am so thrilled about that because sleep really affects mental health, and I'll get sometimes caught in these cycles of insomnia or whatever, and it's really tricky for me to figure out, okay, what is it this time that's causing it, and try to work my way through that. And part of it this time, I think, is some unresolved trauma that I haven't been dealing with, and part of it is just situation and environment. So I've been trying to work through all of those things because I'm that person now that something creeps up and I'm going, okay, how do we do with this? How are we gonna face it? So I'm looking at it like, what inventory items do I need to go find and collect right now? And I've got a pretty good sack on my hero back here. I was born disabled, Sharpshooter07 says. Was difficult to write, so I took to typing, typewriters to computers, then I figured out how to build and repair. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Still have mental health issues, but I'm in recovery. That's what's important, is taking that step in the right direction, because recovery isn't fast or easy. And there's never a point where you just get to, okay, I'm healed and I'm perfect now. It's an ongoing process. Shane Bear says, this week, one wonderful, one horrible. The wonderful is I finally got remodeling done to my house, or to make my house wheelchair friendly. The horrible, insurance won't cover infusions anymore. Ugh. Insurance issues are the worst. I don't understand how somebody can just sit up there on their high and mighty throne saying, well, you deserve help, but you don't. Y'all, you know how this is how John Kramer became Jigsaw, right? Like, maybe you should stop denying people the health care that they need. I'm so sorry that you're having to deal with that. I hope that you can find some other solution. I will look into that to see if there's anything else that will cover infusions, or if there's any organizations that are willing to help, because it's really awful. I'm sorry. Ty B says, ups, not many, a lot of stress recently, causing me to clench jaw, which causes headaches. Yep. So trying to stay positive even as the world burns around me. I'm that person that when stuff starts getting really bad, I just really lean into all of the things that will bring me even the slightest bit of happiness. Like, even a tiny little deposit in the happiness bank during that time is so crucial. I mean, it's crucial to be doing it on an ongoing basis, so that way when you do have the world falling and burning around you, it doesn't seem as intense and as overwhelming. But even during that time, if you're adding those deposits to the happiness bank, if you guys don't know what the happiness bank is, make sure to check out that free 5-day challenge that I do. I will link it down below, but it's happinessboost.life. And we teach about the happiness bank. We teach about skills that you can develop to ride out some of those really dark times. So if you're not already signed up to that, make sure to check that out. I think it could really help. But it's the process that I took, the steps that I took to go from being on that ledge, being suicidal, being crippled with symptoms of depression, to being where I am now, living this life happier than I thought possible. King Vegeta says, I sent you an email like last week. I don't know if you got it. I think I'm caught up on my emails. There were a couple of emails that I got that when I replied to them, it bounced and I wasn't able to get an email through. So definitely, if I haven't responded to you, try again. I always wonder why voices in my head are so aggressive. Andrea, I hope I said that right. I never heard anyone say voices tell me to be a good person, finish college, help someone. Well, that is a great question. My voices used to be quite dark as well, and they were very self-deprecating, and I was always very hard on myself, and I had all of these tapes stuck. And it's because you develop these tapes, whether something happens and your subconscious response is, oh my God, I'm so stupid for letting this happen, or oh my God, I'm such a terrible person for doing this. When your subconscious continues to do that over time, they become beliefs. So, you don't even realize that these are the things, that the values that you hold. So when you are struggling with symptoms of anxiety and depression, that shadow kind of takes hold and will start telling you that you're not good enough, and that other people don't care about you, and that there's no point in finishing college. It tells you all of these things. But a part of that is because we have accepted these beliefs over time. And I think that that actually plays into what exacerbates depression. Is we've accepted all these beliefs of how worthless and terrible we are, and then the depression, like the symptoms of depression, feeds on that and makes it even more intense and worse. So then we find ourselves spiraling. For me, and I actually talk about this in the 5-day challenge too. That's huge. The rewriting those tapes is freaking huge. This is one of the biggest things I did for my mental health. And I know it's a tricky process, but I do walk everyone through that process. So I really had to start pinpointing these beliefs that I had and physically writing them down. These beliefs, as I saw them coming up, as I heard them coming up, I would literally write them down and start combating them one by one. But yeah, the voices in your head can get really nasty if you don't fight back. So fight back. Lo, I was talking to a girl online, Cody Bias says, and found out I was being catfished. Oh, that always sucks. I've been catfished too. I don't even understand. People are so, there has to be some kind of underlying thing going on, some kind of underlying insecurity that people do that. It's just so ridiculous. Think about that. They are wasting their time just to make someone else feel insecure and upset. That's definitely kind of the same as bullying, where clearly they're hurting and they want to hurt someone else. Hi, I met some new friends last night. I don't have very many, and I got paid today. Awesome to new friends. New friends are always a good thing. So I hope that you have many, many adventures with them. Many, many adventures. Shane says insurance expects me to pay $10,000 a month in order to keep from being a quadriplegic. Oh my God, I hate insurance so much. I just hate our system for doing that to people. I am seriously so sorry. $10,000 a month. I mean, I think that there's some coaches online somewhere claiming that they could teach you how to make $10,000 a month, but genuinely, who makes $10,000 a month? That's ridiculous. I really hope you do get that worked out. Woods Gump says, my professor brought me into a meeting and he said that I wasn't happy as I am this semester. That got me thinking, have I been happy at all in college? I can't tell if I've been happy at all. That's important that you're actually self-reflecting on that, because a lot of people will get stuck in ruts with school or jobs because of the sunk cost fallacy, that they think, oh, I already put this much time or this much money in, so now I have to keep going. That's a fallacy you do not want to fall into, be it with your relationship, your schooling, your job, whatever, you will end up becoming resentful and miserable. So I suggest that you take some time to really reflect why you're going to college, really reflect if this is what you want to do or if it's something you kind of got pushed into. Yeah, your emotions, there's a difference between feeling stressed out because you have exams and stuff and just feeling like you're constantly not happy with anything you do. Because I know plenty of people that are in college and are thrilled with the process, even the homework and stuff and the essays. So I think it's very important to take a moment to just analyze the emotions that are coming up or the thoughts that are coming up and give them space. Uh, I was 69 and recently finished 2 years of EMDR for CPTSD. I have a Zoom set for next week to begin yoga for PTSD. Only took 2 years to end Chatterbrain. I am very proud of you. Snaps for Lauren Hunsinger. I feel like I should start the snap cut for the channel. What do you guys think? I should start utilizing it for that as well. That's amazing. I'm proud of you for taking those steps in the right direction toward healing. Let's see. I learned to use voices, internal and external, as motivation. If I'm told what I can't do, it pushes me to prove them wrong. David Gaps, you just explained pretty much my life story. I still get the voices from time to time, but I've managed to override them for the most part. It just takes repetitiveness. The big thing is repetitiveness. And for a while, it's going to seem exhausting because they come up so frequently. But every time you catch yourself saying, I can't do this, or I'm stupid, say, I can't do this yet, but I can learn and I can grow and I can figure it out. Or if the voice is trying to say, I'm stupid, give it examples to prove it wrong. Say, remember that time when I aced that exam? Or remember that time when I was able to answer a question that someone had? Give it examples to prove it wrong. But yeah, prove it wrong. Oh, we have some people in here that are recovering from COVID. I hope you guys are okay. I hope that you heal, and I hope that it's not too severe. I've known people that had it, that it knocked them out, and my son had it, and for the most part was okay. I've known people that are completely asymptomatic, so I hope that it's not too hard on you guys right now. Oh, Tybee is on my lunch break right now and gone into the tall pines and listening to your live, along with the sounds of nature to try and regroup/ground myself. That's the thing I do too. I will go and just listen to nature, or I'll listen to an uplifting podcast or one of my favorite YouTubers and just kind of get that energy flowing, get those vibrations back up. I'm happy that I can be part of that. Thank you. Warrior Poet says, hey, I caught one. Yay! Sorry, I keep missing these. Been practicing drumming a lot since the beginning of the year. It's helping me a lot with better mental energy, physical as well. Hope you're doing well. I dated a drummer, and while I don't have particularly fond memories of that relationship. Those drummer arms or something, let me tell you. And that's awesome. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you could finally catch one. I do several Zoom calls every month for my Patreons where we all get to video call and hang out. That's a little more one-on-one and personal. And those are at varying times. So if you can't catch this, you might want to consider that. We all have our own demons. Question is, how do we handle them? Most people tend to judge and don't look at themselves. To fight demons, best weapon is to tell yourself you're not alone. Truth. Rick, hello. Mwah. I'm so glad to see you in here this morning. More demons are dying off again. You keep exercising those little SOBs. I am so proud of you. I see the light at the end of the tunnel again. I had nightmares last night, not vivid though. I also went back to sleep right away. I'm smiling again. Yes, yes. I love that you accept that, this event happened. You had the nightmares, but you looked at the bright side, that they weren't as vivid, and you went back to sleep. You were able to release that and understand that, hey, maybe your brain needed to process some stuff and get through it. And then you went back to sleep. And I hope you had good dreams when you went back to sleep, but I'm very glad to see you here. Renee says, can I make a reaction suggestion? So reaction suggestions, you can, and I absolutely will add them to my list. Currently, my list, though, is 7 pages long. So Patreons get priority song requests, but you can make a pledge here of $25 or more, and I will make sure to get to your reaction in the next week or two. So if you are really dead set on me doing one, you can make a pledge here using the super chat feature, and every dime of that goes toward my mental health outreach. Thanks for asking. If you would hear my story, there is no demons but crazy commands like Japanese manga. I get it. I likened mine. It's funny you say Japan manga, because I liken my thoughts sometimes to just a computer that has 100 tabs open, and some of them are playing music and you can't figure out which ones, and some of them are in Japanese, and obviously you can't read it to figure out what to do, and there's just more pop-ups every time you try and click to exit. So I understand your analogy there. Yes, you can send your story. You can either post your story here in the comments on a video, or you can email it to me. I always post my email in the descriptions of my videos. First time you've been able to catch me live. Anxious Respawn. I love that tag. I love that name. That's really interesting. I feel like there's a good story behind that. But I am so glad that we have so many first timers, people that have been wanting to jump in for a while, or maybe you're just stumbling across the channel. Either way, welcome. I have to warn you, we're a bit crazy here, but good crazy, good, bad, and crazy. That's what I always say. I just really want to reiterate that this really is a no judgment zone. I'm very, very strict about not allowing attacks or anything in comments. And I've seen an uptick of things like that on the channel recently, and I do try to get to it and handle it as soon as possible. But if you do come across trolls on the channel, you know they're going to happen. Just know that they're going to get booted and blocked, and you have my love and the love of so many people here on the community. There's people out there that are hurting, and hurt people, you know? Hurt people try to take what's hurting them and what's eating them alive and then push that on other people because they don't know how else to process. So if you are catching a little bit of that, I'm really sorry. But as you will see in the next video, that just opened a wormhole of content for the channel. Thanks, Joel. Again, I just want to thank you again for, I'm serious. I know that I'm sounding sarcastic, but I really am serious that there was some stuff that I've been avoiding posting on the channel that I think is a really big part of the mental health conversation, but also a really big part of my journey and a big part of some of the trauma I'm trying to work through. So, Joel, I think you might have really given me an opportunity to provide content to a whole other group of people that are ostracized and that that really face that stigma that we talk about here on the channel, that we're working to shatter, that really face that more than most people. So I really do mean thank you for suggesting that that song, The Call. Ooh, a lot of people in here from Germany. King Vegeta says, I love how enthusiastic and adorkable you are. You're such a ray of sunshine. I love the word adorkable. That's a pretty good description of me. I just got to a point where I stopped caring so much if I fit into someone else's mold. And this week has been a real eye-opener for some of my own processes and my own traits and the things that I had been kind of denying, or, as I said, avoiding. And I think that you're going to be getting a lot more nerdy, dorky content coming up in the following weeks too. So I hope that that's okay. Anxious Respawn, good story. Yes, you can call me Link, my hero, my hero of Hyrule. Amanda, would you get a tattoo like a... I'm not sure what that tattoo is. It looks familiar. I believe that that's a I Got Your Back tattoo. The IGY6, I think, is what Joel is asking if I would get a tattoo. You know, I'm really torn. I have wanted to get a couple of other tattoos. So I have this one that I got with my best friend that says to infinity, and she has and beyond. I have my Triforce that's from The Legend of Zelda, but stands for power, wisdom, and courage. I have my Harry Potter always. And then I have my Mike Shinoda drew a puzzle piece, and I had it tattooed in white, so you might not be able to see it, but with his initials, and I use that to remind myself why I was giving up self-harm and why I didn't want to use anymore. And getting that tattoo was the first day of my recovery from self-harm and cocaine back in 2018, all the way back in 2018. I don't know if you guys pay much attention to my board, but let me give you a little insight here. This is actually on my board because it is the meet and greet from that show, and it has the date and everything on it, obviously. But it was June 14th. June 14th was the first day of my recovery. So I keep this also as that reminder when I'm here working to be able to express that we can overcome anything. We really can. But I've really fought getting another tattoo because I was supposed to get Chester Bennington to do a tattoo. He owned Club Tattoo here in Tempe, and he was supposed to come in October of 2017 to do tattoos. And I had made the appointment or whatever. I had called in and said, okay, I want a slot. I had no idea what I wanted, and I didn't even really care. I would have just laid there. I would have paid him $1,000 just to tattoo nothingness onto my skin. Just don't even put ink in the gun. Just, tattoo me for a while. And I ended up getting the tattoo for Mike because it was very symbolic for part of my journey. And there are a couple of other tattoos I want to get, but I'm just so torn because I feel like that was a good last one to get if I don't get any more, but I feel like I could very easily just wind up with sleeves. Bonjour Fred, ça va? J'espère que tout va bien ce matin. Bienvenue. Bienvenue sur la chaîne. You said I'm embracing my nerdiness, and next comment you read, start talking about Zelda. Meh, what can I say? I'm all kinds of different nerdy too. Most people have that one specific nerd culture that they're into, and there's a lot that I'm not. Like, I've never watched the Star Wars movies or the Lord of the Rings movies. I tried to watch Lord of the Rings. I never tried to watch Star Wars, but there's a lot of nerd cultures I don't get in. But then I'm really amidst a whole bunch of different ones, so I can get into so many different ones. My first tattoo was the Egyptian Ankh, eternal life and divine existence. Getting that ink was the day I took my body back from arthritis. I love hearing stories about people's tattoos because they're part of the journey. And I think it's interesting how people still judge based on tattoos. I've known world-renowned doctors that have full sleeves. And it's just insane to me that you can try and say, oh, they're a thug because they have a tattoo. Maybe that was their way of memorializing someone they lost, or they overcame something, or, they just want to show reverence to a band or something. Or maybe they just really liked a certain thing, and that's their way of connecting to that nostalgia or connecting to that interest. I love tattoos. See, the Laughing Man 79 says, no tattoos. It breaks my heart to see beautiful women vandalize themselves like that. But you don't understand that's part of my healing and part of my story. And I do that as a way of moving past my traumas or overcoming my addiction and my my biggest challenges. So I'm sorry that you actually I'm not. I'm sorry, not sorry. I wish that you would consider seeing it differently than vandalizing, because it's like art. It's part of a story. It's a story that we're telling. We happen to be telling it on our skin, but it's a story that we're telling to ourselves, to the world, just ways of honoring, ways of putting another page in the journal. They're very, very therapeutic for me. Question survey says, do you own any cool leather jackets? I am vegan, so I do not own any leather products. That is very important to me. All my life, I've been told that no one will ever love me for who I am and for my disability, and all the voices after that just continue to say that, and I now believe it. Renee, I hope I'm saying Renee right. I was there. I was bullied from grade school pretty much through high school. It was more physical in grade school, but I was bullied. I was never asked out. I was continuously told that I wasn't good enough, and it does start to define you after a while, and you accept all of this abuse and that's what it is. It's abuse. People telling you that is abuse. And you accept it because it came from people that you trusted or people that you looked up to in some way. And I will say that I did get past those thoughts. There's still a couple that I'm working on, as you will learn in the upcoming video later today. There's still some that I'm working on, but I've made so much progress in combating those limiting beliefs, because that's what they are. They're limiting beliefs. They're limiting you from reaching your potential and realizing how lovable and worthy you are. And you are. I didn't realize that I was either. I was told that I was fat, guys. Okay. I was told I was fat by multiple people, told I was fat. And I weighed pretty much the same since high school. I was also told that I had eating disorders and I was bulimic. Look, again, hurt people hurt people. They are saying these things because they are insecure and they're trying to drag other people down with them, because people like that don't want to be alone in their misery. Misery loves company. And it's very possible to overcome those limiting beliefs. As I was saying earlier, that's a big part of that free 5-day challenge. To make sure to get into that, I think it will really help. And the Happiness Boost course dives real deep into overcoming these thoughts and these beliefs and these things that we struggle with. Thank you, Erin, for the pledge. Guys, we've already started the pledge train in here. So if you are wanting any reactions for this week, or if you are just wanting to support these mental health outreach projects, like the big one that is in its final stages. So I am very, very confident that it's going to come out in, wait for it, it's gonna be May. So I'm very excited about that. I really think that it's going to be announced in May. I think that that's going to be when I can finally start telling you exactly what this project is. But trust me, it's going to make a huge difference in the mental health community. But I'm really sorry that you have been around people, Renee, that make you feel that you're not good enough because they're not good enough. They don't deserve you. They don't deserve to have you in their life. I have my disability, and while mine might not be physical, I have my condition. I have my quirks, and I've had people tell me that I don't deserve to be loved. Actually, my ex told me I deserve to have panic attacks. And they're wrong. And I just want to say that those people in your life are wrong too. And I'm going to tell you that you are beautiful and worthy. So I'm cooler than them. Renee, I can give you a book with yoga exercises on Russian language. It could help. Unless you're part of, wait. Book with yoga exercises on Russian language. You know, I mean, I feel like yoga is the same in all languages, so I almost kind of want to check that out now too. I did. Oh my God. So here's a fun story. I went to Germany back in 2019. I went to Germany, Poland, and Czech. And I decided that I was going to take a yoga class while I was in Germany. I don't speak literally a lick of German. I think I know maybe 3 words, like Danke and Hund and maybe a couple other words. And I went to this yoga class and I asked the lady in the front, who fortunately spoke English, I said, is it okay if I take the class not being able to understand or speak German? She said, yeah, just follow the instructor. You'll be able to do the poses. It was an advanced class. So by the middle of class, they're doing handstands. And I'm just going, I don't know what to do right now. And I feel like they're just angry at me. And it was an experience for sure. So thanks for reminding me of that that yoga class. I just like taking yoga classes in different places, in different countries, in different states that I go to. It's kind of a cool thing, just to be reminded that no matter where you are, you can ground and you can reconnect. I remember doing one in New York City and just thinking, I'm in this little room while there's all this hustle and bustle and craziness going on around me. And I can sit here and breathe and I can be in my own world and I don't need to worry about anything that's beyond those doors right now. It's a really cool experience. Oh my gosh, Shane says I'm missing half my middle finger, my favorite finger, of course. And I'm getting a fingernail tattoo on it just to relax. Oh, I love it. I love it so much. Shane says, you look great. Well, thank you. Whoever told you that BS was just projecting. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to tell Renee. It is, people project their own insecurities so they don't have to feel alone in their misery. So when people call you names, think about it. There's really no reason for them to do that. Let's say that you are whatever it is they're saying. Let's say that I really am fat. All right. I'm fat. I'm fat. Let's say that I am. Do you think that somebody coming up and saying, Amanda, you're fat, is really having my best interest at heart? Or saying, oh my God, you're so bulimic, you're so skinny, you just need to go eat a donut? Those people don't have your best interest at heart. If somebody has your best interest at heart, they might come up and say, hey, I'm really kind of worried about your health, and I was just wondering if there's anything I could do to support you or to help you. But people that attack like that and just name call aren't doing it to try and help. They're not doing it to try to make you feel better, to try and heal you. They're literally only doing it to hurt you because that gives them energy and that fuels them. Okay, Hayden PA says, how do you deal with people giving you false hope? For example, you'll get this contract, so on and so time, and then just don't. Well, I had a lot of that in 2021. I had pretty much everything I could want somewhere between fall of 2020 and the end of 2021. So let's just say November-ish of 2020 to November of 2021. I had pretty much everything I've ever wanted dangled in my face and then taken away. So I can very much relate to this. And it is a very, very, very hard thing to get through because you feel like you're failing and you feel like the universe is mocking you and against you. And for me, when I would have something like that happen, there's a couple things I do. First and foremost, I would kind of, and this is going to sound weird, go for an easy win. So go for the things that are lesser on my goal list that I kind of know I have a pretty good chance of accomplishing just to get that boost. And to really remind myself that it has nothing to do with my worth. You know, the biggest stars out there get turned down for movies every day, you know, and it doesn't have anything to do with their talent. It's just that they weren't right for that. So it has nothing to do with your worth. Get that out of your head right now, throw it away. But focusing on what you can do to move in the direction. So break down whatever goal it is that you have. So if your goal is, for example, to write a book and you got rejected. I had this happen. So I've been trying to write a book and I had this woman that wanted to read my manuscript. She was very excited about it, wanted to read my manuscript, had me literally salivating for months and then goes, nah, I'm not really interested. Okay, well now what can I do? Do I need to change the manuscript? Do I need to change something about the presentation, the way I'm presenting it? Do I need to write a completely different book if that's what I want? Or what can I do to move toward whatever the goal is? Because there's an underlying goal there, and that's why it's upsetting you if, you know, you get false hope on a relationship and some girl gives you this false hope and leads you on to believe, oh yeah, we're going to be in a relationship and we're going to be happy, and then just tosses you aside. Obviously, you're looking for love and you're looking for a stable relationship and you're looking for companionship. So what are other ways that you can cultivate that? You know, what are other ways that you can connect with people, that you can cultivate the energy of being in a relationship? Because there's a lot you can do even when you're single to really encourage and cultivate that energy. So focusing on breaking down the goal into smaller things and kind of knocking those off so that you can see the progress. Does that make sense? I hope that answered your question. If not, I would be happy to elaborate, but I hope that answered the question. Oh, I'm loving reading about all these tattoos. There's so many people in here that have a tattoo around their belly button. I was stupid and drunk in college. That's probably the start of, I would say, about 62% of all tattoos. My belly button has horns. Oh gosh. Richard Glynn says the name I get picked on daily from childhood. Oh, yep. Even now, you just learn to deal with it and not let it bring you down. Be happy your name isn't joke worthy, at least. Well, I did. My middle name used to get mocked a lot from the people that found it out. And people are always going to find something to make fun of and something to mock you for. And I kind of got past it. Like when I have haters here, I realize that that's their pain and their process, not mine. Yeah, hang out with people that lift you up. Metal Mark is absolutely right. Hang out with people that lift you up. That is the fifth day of the free happiness boost challenge that we were talking about, is learning how to identify who should be in your life, how to distance yourself from people that aren't serving you, and how to cut people out that are just really toxic. Headsick Nation, do you think mental illness has its own lifestyle? Does the lifestyle suit the mentally ill with the life we choose to live? It's a difficult question to ask. Yes and no. It's not a difficult question to ask. It's a great question to ask. And that is absolutely what I encourage. So for me, lifestyle was everything about my healing journey. And that's why I put together that 5-day challenge, that free 5-day challenge. That's why I have the happiness boost course, is because I believe lifestyle is absolutely everything. There's so many components to our lifestyle that is going to make or break our mental health. If we're already susceptible to symptoms of anxiety and depression, or we already have a disorder that makes us more susceptible, the lifestyle we choose to lead will either make it bearable, make us happy, or it will cripple us. So there's a lot of things that you can do. And that is exactly what I outline in that 5-day challenge. Is here is exactly what you can do with your lifestyle to make sure that you have the best opportunity for optimal mental health. That's not weird at all. I think more people should be talking about that. More people should be having a conversation about the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis that are having a massive negative impact on mental health. And most people nowadays, I think that the reason that rates of suicide and overdose and addiction and all of these different disorders are so high is because we have normalized a lifestyle that's super, super unhealthy for mental health. And it's leading to a generation of people that are experiencing critical symptoms of depression, like crippling symptoms of all of these mental health disorders. And one of the biggest ways that we can start to move past that is acknowledging the role lifestyle plays in it. So I'm glad you brought that up. Ray says, thank you, Amanda, for your love and telling me that. It makes me feel wanted, and that's all I've ever wanted to hear. So thank you. And you made me happy cry while you said that. It makes me feel whole. Mwah. You deserve to feel that way. We have all faced really crappy people. Like I said, I've been told that I deserve to have panic attacks. I've been told that I'm ugly. I've been told that I'm stupid. And I'm now thinking, you know what? Next time someone calls me stupid, I'm going to respond to them in French. I can't fathom that there's so many people out there that are so willing to hurt innocent people like you, innocent people like us who are just trying to live our lives and do the best we can. And I'm glad that I could offer some insight this morning to start to reverse that. So when you start questioning yourself next time, when you start getting into that cycle, because that is a tape that's ingrained in your head now from all these people that have told you that, you overwrite that tape with my tape. Override it. Override your tape with my tape, because I want you to hear my voice. And I want to talk about this in a video. So tell me if you guys are interested in this. I want to talk about how when we talk to our partner, or we talk to our kids, especially, this can happen with friends that are very close to you, but when we talk to our partner or we talk to our kids, remember that the voice that you are speaking with is going to become their internal voice. So when you're always yelling at your kid, or you're always irritable, or you're always frustrated at them, that voice that you're speaking with is going to become the voice in their head. So be very cognizant about your tone, about how you're approaching things. Be very, very mindful about that. And I want my voice to be your inner voice when you are confronted with those. Thank you very much, Richard, for the love and support to the cause. Richard says, I try to deal with my depression on my own. Sometimes I feel it's not the best way, but I really don't want to be put on meds that seem to have more effects on me than the depression does. I was guinea pigged on medication for so long. And it caused hallucinations. It would cause panic attacks where I'd think I was dying. I couldn't breathe. There was never a time, even with kids' doses of medications, that it reacted well with me. I can't take CBD. I can't take melatonin. I'm very sensitive to medication. And I'm not opposed to medication. If that works for other people, that's great. I just wish that they'd stop pushing that as the first line of defense, because it doesn't work for everyone. So there is a lot that you can do for your mental health that doesn't involve medication. And for me, I was very big every time I went to a mental health professional and saying, I'm not going to take medication. Like once I got to the point of where that wasn't an option anymore and I knew it, I would say, I'm not going to take medication. And you can either use talk therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, things like that. There's so many different things that you can do. Might I suggest BetterHelp actually is an online platform, and you can use my code and get 10% off. Some people have kind of complained about BetterHelp, but I use them a couple times, and it's amazing because they don't push medication, because they don't have the authority to push medication. So it's really just, we're going to talk and we're going to move through some of these traumas and really start to process emotions. And it's just talking to a licensed professional that can help you really dig deeper. So I will post the link to that here in the description of this video once we stop the stream, if that's something you're interested in, because I do think that there's other options other than going to a mental health professional that's going to push prescription medication. I just think that that should not be the first line of defense. So unless it's an emergency, unless it's an urgent situation, in which case, sure. But if it's not a really urgent situation, that should never be the first line of defense. Like, let's see if your lifestyle is conducive to optimal mental health. Let's see if there's trauma there that you need to work through. I actually had a mental health professional try and put me on meds right after my mom died. Are you kidding me? My mom just died. Like, I deserve to be able to grieve my mother. I deserve to be able to have those emotions and feelings. I just need you to tell me how to get through them in a healthy way, not just say, okay, let's medicate here. Rick just made a pledge and said, Amanda, you're the reason I'm still alive. And you guys always get me. I have adored getting to know you, Rick, and I appreciate your support, and I appreciate that you're still here, and I'm going to hold you to your promise that you made to me. So I really appreciate you. I appreciate your support for the project. I appreciate you staying around here and being part of the community and showing people how strong they are, because you do that. I've heard several people in the comments talk about how they would read your comments and go, wow, he's been through all this, and sure, he's struggling, but he's getting through it and he's finding the other side. So people are watching your journey too, Rick, and I'm very proud of you, and I very much appreciate you. Hayden says, yeah, thanks for the words of encouragement. This has helped already, just to see things for as is. And yeah, just see things for as they are right now and focus on what you can do. You know, focus on what differences you can make. Focus on what action you can take right now. And sometimes it's just little steps. I mean, if it's a job thing, maybe it's, do you need to tweak your resume? Do you need to be looking at other jobs? There's always different things that we can do to move toward our goals, and rejection is going to happen, you know, and sometimes we're going to get our hopes way up for something and then get it dropped, and it hurts. Let it hurt. Allow that to exist. I mean, you're allowed to be disappointed. I'm giving you permission. You are allowed to be disappointed when something doesn't pan out the way you want it to. Richard says, I'm always available to talk with anyone. If you need a friend, someone is always here to help. Make sure that you leave a comment on this video so that people can see that if they need to reach out. I think it's great that there are several people here in the community that do try to go through comments and find other people that are struggling and reach out to them via comment, or sometimes they will exchange emails and stuff. Keep doing that, guys. That's what this community is meant for. And that mental health project that I'm talking about is going to help take that to the next level in being able to support each other and be there for each other. It's really going to blow that out of the park. So that is what all those pledges are going for, that you guys are so generously offering today. I love you guys. I really... So I have this issue. It's not really an issue. I have this amazing quality that I love very intensely. So when somebody gets my love, like my partner or like my child, I love very intensely. And sometimes I have so much love that I don't know what to do with all of it. I'm just sitting there going, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed with all this emotion that I want to share, and all this feeling and care and compassion that I want to share. And this channel has really given me an opportunity to channel that somewhere else. So now I have so much that it's giving me another place to channel it. So just another reason I appreciate you. Wow. Failure is one of the best ways I learn and move forward to achieve it. Everyone should be looking at it from that perspective. Absolutely everyone fails. Here's the thing. Everyone fails. Everyone. Every single person on the face of the planet is going to get rejected. Supermodels get broken up with. Famous actors get turned down for roles. People who were the prom queen are going to get cheated on. It does not matter. It has nothing to do with your worth or your value. Everybody gets rejected. Everybody fails. That's part of the process. Is, okay, you tried and that way didn't work. Okay, well now you know that way doesn't work. So now you know you have to try a different way. King Vegeta says, failure is actually what makes me more suicidal. The more I fail, the more it feels like the universe is conspiring against me, or that I'm not destined to have my dream life. I'd rather be dead than not have my dream life. I can very much relate to that. I think that that is something that a lot of people who get trapped in suicidal ideation or get trapped in symptoms of depression think is, we almost think that our failure is special, because we're thinking, well, look at everybody else that gets everything they want, and all of these other people are living their dream lives. Those other people, number one, that you're looking at on social media, they're posting the highlight reels of their life, not the behind the scenes. So you're not seeing what's really going on. We're not seeing their struggles. We're not seeing whether or not they had to jump through a million hoops to get where they are. We're not seeing all the times that they failed and had to pick themselves back up to get to where they are. We don't see any of that. So when you're confronted with a failure, it's like I tell my son when he fails and he says, I can't do this. Okay, you can't do it yet. You haven't accomplished it yet. What do you have to change in order to be able to accomplish it? Just because you haven't accomplished it yet doesn't mean it's impossible. It might mean that you fail another time, another 20 times, another 50 times, but the strength comes in being able to try again, try a different way, try asking for help, try changing something. But keep trying, because nobody, absolutely nobody, is going to get through this life without a million failures. I kind of started looking at it as, okay, well, that's one closer to the success. That's one closer to the yes. When I get a denial for my manuscript or something, it's like, okay, well, that's one no closer to my yes. David says it, Rick, you are the reason you are alive. Man is a great tool to help you, but give yourself credit too. I'm really glad you said that, because we often credit music or people or books or whatever the case is for our survival. Or a lot of people say religious figures, it's like, well, God saved me. No, you saved you. You saved you. You did that work. Was God a tool? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if there is something else. Maybe there was some energy in that, but you're the one that did the work, and you're the one that saved yourself, and you're the one that's healing. And I'm honored to be a tool, and I'm honored to be part of that. But at the end of the day, ironically, I had done a meditation led by Jamie Bennington, Chester's son. He was kind enough to do a guided meditation for me, a very long one, mind you. And when I was talking about being on the ledge, and I was talking about breaking the habit coming on and me coming down, he already knew about that because we talked about it in the interview that we did here on the channel. But when I got to the point of I was talking about that as part of this meditation visualization coaching exchange that we were doing, he said, okay, so when you were 16 and you were sexually assaulted and you visualized my dad's tattoos, the flame tattoos that Chester had. When you visualize those, that was you. Like, you went into your head. Yes, my dad was there for you, but you went into your head. You are the one that brought forth those images to protect you. And it kind of came full circle. So when you were on the ledge, it's almost like when you brought forth the images of the flames, you brought that song. You are the one that projected needing that and projected the energy that made that song play. And I'm just going, I just sat there going, oh my God. Like, I manifested my own healing. I manifested my own journey, that part of my journey. So yes, I'm glad you brought that up. My fruitless step to Amanda is that I didn't know I could be happy and meaningful in my life. You absolutely can. No, there's not an age limit for people to be here. Everybody is welcome. Oh gosh, so much love. A lot of people in here are saying that medication made it a lot worse for them. And I just wish that that was acknowledged. You know, I wish that more professionals would just understand that it's not for everyone. I was told, so I was hallucinating, couldn't breathe, gasping for air on the floor, and it was, you just need to give the medication a couple of weeks. Did you miss the part about the hallucinations, can't breathe, screaming for help? That's not something you could just live with for a couple weeks while the medication may or may not shift. Joel is in here. He just requested Jelly Roll save me. You know what? I've actually saw that quite a few times. I've seen requests for that quite a few times. I'll make sure to put that down here. So I'm glad that we can get to that because I've been kind of curious, but just haven't had any Patreons requests or anything. But this better not be like this week, my love. So we're going to wind down here. We're in the past 5 minutes or so. So if anybody in the last 5 minutes or so, rather. So if anybody wants to get in any last minute requests, make sure to do that through the super chat feature. I am so full of love and full of gratitude. And I'm glad that we have a place to talk. I'm glad that we have somewhere to go. I want to read everybody's comments and I can't. And here, Casca is talking about transcendental meditation, and I think that is huge. I think that that meditation has been huge for me in getting my sleep cycle back on track too. I started meditating regularly again. I think that's a big part of my process. Maybe I'm wrong, who knows? But I think it's a big part of the process too. It really helps just to kind of get to step away from our mind sometimes, because I'm that person that I always need to be doing something. So just taking that time to go, okay, right now I'm going to reconnect to being a human being and not a human doing. Cute dolls, if you are needing to talk, I see that you're struggling. If you're needing to talk, please make sure to email me, or you can comment on the videos. I read all my comments. I don't want you to feel like you are alone, or that you have to struggle on your own. You absolutely don't. You can come into these chats. You can email me. I read all my emails. I read all of my comments. I really do care about you guys. Shane says the medication triggered my dissociation. It took me 2 weeks to fully come back from it. Yep. Medication triggered hallucinations and panic attacks, but the dissociation would always last a while. So then they're saying, hey, not only do you need to wait 2 weeks on the medication, but then it's going to take another couple weeks for you to come off the effects of this medication. So we're just going to put you through hell for an entire month every time we try out a medication. Nope. Thanks for the love for the meditation, Erin. So yes. Cute Doll says, how can I join Discord? David, can you drop her the Discord link? I don't have it on hand. I think David is going to drop that in the comments here. If not, I will make sure it's either in the comments on this video once the stream is done, or I will post it in the description. But I'm so happy that we have some new people. I hope that you can come back, that you can continue to join us. I'm enjoying watching this grow, and I really do love this experience. I love everything about this experience. I love creating the content. I love interacting. I love seeing that it's really making a difference to people. I know what it's like to be at a point, sorry, my mouth was getting dry, at a point where you feel like you have no one, especially at critical times. And I just want everybody to know that somebody's here. Oh, I got a scam call. Sorry, I forgot to turn that down. That somebody's here and somebody has your back. And there is a lot to get through, but somebody always has your back. I started this because I just know what it's like to be alone, or to feel like everyone abandoned you or betrayed you, or nobody loves you, or whatever the case is. I want to be everyone's wings. I want to be everyone's Lucifer. Okay, for anyone that doesn't have context, that probably sounded really... I want to be everyone's Lucifer. Well, that should go on a shirt somewhere. For the people that don't have the context to that, I was really big on the show Lucifer, and there was a scene where he wraps his wings around his love interest and protects her, and that really struck me. That really hurt me at the time, because one of my stuck tapes is, why do I not have anybody protect me like that? Why do I not have anybody love me like that? And it was extremely hard to navigate. So I will be Lucifer to all of you. Magic Sun, enjoy your content. Appreciate what you do. Thank you. Oh, Eric put in a request for 5-finger death punch coming down. Got it. All right. So we got a couple of requests to add to the list. I guess I'm just going to say Eric. If you want me to say a last name when I do that reaction, please make sure you put that in the comments to the video. But I think we have some good stuff to dive into next week. I think we're going to have a lot of good content. And I think that, like I said, thanks to Joel, everybody thank Joel, there's going to be a whole other segment that is going to wind up being discussed. So brace yourself for that. You know what? Let me just say, so I reacted to the call this morning, as Joel had requested from last week. And I am so grateful that I had this scheduled right afterwards. I'm so grateful I did that first and then was able to jump on here and soak in all of your love and positive energy, because it hit real deep, guys. It hit real deep. And there aren't a lot of videos that I just sit down and cry afterwards, but I sat down and cried afterwards. So I am glad that you guys were able to lift me up and give me some high vibes too. So mwah for that. And I am going to get off here. Scotty the Veteran, I just wanted to update everybody real quick. So before we get off, Scotty the Veteran, I know I had talked about how he was going to be homeless again and was struggling. I've been watching his dog, Wendy. Wendy is the one that was on my Day in the Life of vlog. I've been watching his dog. He was going to become homeless. We do have a place for him. So he is not going to be back in the streets. He got his staples out from his surgery yesterday and has a safe, warm place to stay. Wendy's staying with me for now. And he actually has a generous person that stood up and is willing to let him stay with her for the time being. So it's not a home or anything. He's going to be in a comfortable, safe place with family for now. So I just want to update everyone on that in case some of you might have been wondering. I forgot that I hadn't updated on that, but he is coming here so we can go get just some food and stuff, some basics for him, and he can love on Wendy. And I'll give you guys another update later, but definitely wanted to end on a positive note. So I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Mwah.